In my classes, I use this lake as an example of a prairie pothole. And some of the characteristics of a prairie are at about 2 to 3 to 4 feet down in the soil is a hard pan, which prevents tree roots from penetrating. It doesn't allow water to go beyond that point, doesn't allow water to come up. And so it creates a real unusual soil condition. I'm an instructor. My background's horticulture, and my side gig is arboriculture, which is trees. And I'm a past president of the Cajun Prairie Habitat Preservation Society in Eunice, past president of the Louisiana Native Plant Society. I teach courses in landscape design, I teach courses in native plants, as well as plant science. Settlement times, maybe in the last 500 to 1,000 years, there were buffalo herds here, and eventually most of them went away. The early sea captains, Spaniards, documented that they saw buffalo on the beaches when they would sail past South Louisiana, indicative that they were here. Buffalo, large herbivores, would come into a place like this, and they would cool off, they would roll in the mud, and they would get mud in their fur, and it would help ward off biting insects. My dad was here during World War II, and right before World War II and into the beginning of it. And this was drained at that time because they wanted to use it for other things. And there are pictures in the library of beauty pageants where the pretty girls were standing under the cypress trees. There was no water in the pond. During World War II, they decided that this was a potential target. This little high school of a university was a potential target for the enemy for firebombing, so they needed a water source in case they had to put out fire, so they flooded it back. There's some places back here, a couple of sites back here, and there was one right here. There was a place where the female alligators would come out and build up organic debris and lay their eggs, and they would guard their eggs. They'd pull alligators out if they get too big. You know, if the alligator's too big, somebody would act crazy and fall in, it would be really dangerous. You could walk around, there's some benches, or you sit there and you'd be within a few feet of an alligator on her nest, and it'd be kind of a makeshift hurricane fencing material, something keeping you from getting eaten alive by an alligator. And you know, they put the canoes in and the kids get in there and have a good time. Generally, no one's going to get hurt doing that. The alligators are really shy. They're way more shy than you realize. The waterfront changed. It was a lot softer and lower, and now it's higher and more structure here sticking out into the water. And then, of course, the new walkway extending out from the east into the center of the lake. It's not managed very well, and if you walk around parts of it, there's some recent excavations. Somebody's reached over the fence line and dug a ditch on the inside of the wall, not here, but in other areas, because there's a problem with the bald cypress roots getting into the landscape beds. And so that's an issue that they can't allow to keep happening because they'll break up the brickwork and the concrete work. So they dig through that zone and break all those roots and intercept them that way. A lot of the plant material out here is exotic, that's blown in from the campus landscaping, and it's just like being consumed by all that vegetation. At one point, they used to try to kind of dig out some of it, and you know, it's hard to find students who want to wait around and do that for pay or for fun, either way. It's not normal for cypress trees to grow in a static level of water all the time. You have low water seasons and high water seasons, and even dry ground seasons in a normal backwater cypress swamp. And this is not quite that situation. And we're already taking other poorly drained areas and turning them into native plant rain gardens and bioswales, and that's pretty good. Someone needs to take charge and identify elements of the pond that are not native and that need to be removed and not natural, because they're kind of overwhelming. The bases of the trees are covered with ligustrum from China and irises from Europe and in the pond, just all kind of things that don't belong there. Be concerned and develop a reasonable plan for attempting to clean it up in the right way.